In a previous audio, I talked about people who feel that they have to play Superman or savior to people, and they will purposefully seek out people who are lacking in their basic needs or have emotional or financial or, mental troubles, and they have it in their mind to try to fix them. And I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons why people like this constantly seek out folks like that. And it has nothing to do with the people they're seeking out. It has to do with something deep inside of them. The majority of these people are looking to fix someone else because no one took the time to fix them. Let me say that again. These people have a tendency to want to go fix someone else because they have had no one to try to fix them. They could have been in a situation where they came from a childhood of neglect. They had a parent or both parents that weren't around. They had to build themselves. They had to bring themselves up. Some of them probably still have bitter feelings toward the parent, whether they're alive or dead, as to why they weren't there for support, and haven't taken time to even find out why that parent wasn't there for support. They had to do a lot of things for themselves at a very early age and had to develop an adult mindset a little bit too soon. They probably had to take on adult responsibilities at a very young age when other children are taking the time out to be children. They didn't have a full childhood. They didn't have a full teenage life because they probably had to take on some sort of emotional or physical adult responsibility. And it was just too much at too early of an age. So they kind of feel that they missed out on some things. So because of that, they grow up and they have a tendency to attract people who are lacking in self-sufficiency. They're lacking in being whole in one or more areas. So they feel in order to make themselves feel better, since they were already put in a position of leadership too soon, and they had to fix a situation at home where technically they weren't really responsible for breaking the situation, but they were thrust into a position where they were the only one that was able to fix whatever was broken in the house. They figured that when they run into these people, that they feel the urge to go ahead and fix them. And it's not even a conscious decision in a lot of these cases. They feel a sense of accomplishment every time they help that person achieve a certain milestone. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is with these people. They find themselves pouring more energy into trying to develop this person than they are trying to keep and maintain what they have. And a lot of these people have physical problems like high blood pressure, arthritis, diabetes, back problems, because of the stress associated with being emotionally responsible, financially responsible for a person that's probably, if not their age or older, that should have had the same basics that they had, the same basics that the average person should have had. But they won't let that person go. They're aware that this person is not self-sufficient, so they figure in their mind if this person feels a sense of indebtedness to them, it makes them feel needed because they spent their whole life feeling needed. They never spent a long period of time by themselves, a lot of these people. If they do, it's not for a long period of time. Not even more than 6 months by themselves because they felt they have to do something for someone else because they were thrust in a position at an early age to do for someone else. And they didn't have any say-so. They didn't have any choice at that time. So their mindset is still there. They feel that their only sense of validation, their only sense of purpose, the only way that they can feel whole is to be responsible for someone else. So when they get grown and those responsibilities they had as a child are no more, they're programmed themselves to believe that the only way that they can be valid is if they fix somebody. So they'll seek broken people. It becomes instinctive. And some of them get to the point where, okay, let's say that there isn't anybody around. They'll turn around and they'll try to get in contact with people that they're connected with by blood or a job or anything else and try to force their way into their lives and create scenarios in their mind that they're needed when they're not. They become busybodies and don't even realize why. Let me give you a case in point, just give you an idea. Some of you might be able to relate to this. Let's say you have this cousin, and for some reason, the cousin, one or both of the parents passed away. The cousin is the oldest out of all the children. She had 3 other children behind her. And they were able to go live with an older relative like an aunt or a grandparent or whatever. And, that person probably doesn't have as much energy as the parent would have. And I mean, they provided shelter and they were there as much as they could for the children. But the oldest child had to do certain things for the younger children that were really the responsibility of the parents had they been around. They were thrust into that responsibility, and it wasn't their choice. So they grew up thinking in their mind they're the head of the household. Well, let's say everybody's grown, everybody's gone on with their lives. The siblings have gone and they have families and things of their own. The elders have passed. And they're on their own now. Well, they find themselves getting involved in relationships with people where you have a person that doesn't have their financial basics together. They may not have a car. They may not have a place to stay. They may not have a means of transportation on a regular basis. They may not have basic things that people in that age group would have. They may not have a lease or anything in their name. They might be couch surfers. These people are not financially stable, or it could be somebody that's financially stable, but they have emotional and mental problems that are unaddressed. And this person feels that they got to go in and try to fix them and offer them the emotional support that they feel they need. But see, the problem with that is these people, the majority of them that go in to try to fix someone who they hardly know, have not done their homework. And this is where the stress comes in. They haven't done their homework. They wanted somebody to fix because they've been programmed to fix situations at an early age. They don't know anything else. They can't see anything else. They can't be by themselves for a long period of time because they got that urge, that instinct to try to fix something that's broken. And that blinds their judgment. It blinds common sense. So what they do is get involved in this relationship with this person, and they go into fix-it mode where every time you turn around when this person needs something, they're coming to them, and then they develop feelings for them, but they're thinking in their mind it is love, and come to find out this person doesn't love them, they're using them, but they don't see it that way. So they figure if they provide so much for them and totally rebuild their lives, that they are in essence buying their love with their time and dedication. And when that person betrays them, then they feel a certain type of way. This is where the stress comes in. This is where the arguments come in, the frustration and everything else. You feel like, well, I did so-and-so for you. I did so-and-so. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for you. The bottom line is that person didn't ask you to do it. You pushed yourself into their life. They would have found somebody else to cover them because that's how they roll. But the truth is you're not mad at them for using you. You're mad at yourself because you didn't do your homework. And if you had done your homework, you would have found out that this person has had a history of pulling this mess with people. And that's how come they don't have anything in their 40, 50 years old with no job, 40, 50 years old with no apartment, no home. 40, 50 years old, never signed a lease. Just haven't had any study anything. And you're wondering why. Never filed taxes because they never had a regular job. But see, you always find this out when it's way too late and you've invested too much. This is stuff you should have checked out first, but you didn't want to. You were in that mode where you wanted to try to rescue somebody. So now that everything comes out and you confront them about it, they either try to lie about it, play the victim, or just try to work their way around it, or some of them are even bold enough to come out and tell you should have did your homework. But see, they've gotten used to the lifestyle, they've gotten used to the attention, they've gotten used to you being there as their source, as their saving grace, their soft place to land on. It's going to be hard as hell to get rid of them. And in most cases, it's going to cost you. All this because nobody did it for you. Nobody did it for you. So you're taking that missing energy from inside of you and you're doing it for somebody else so you can feel good about yourself. That's not the way to go. Go see somebody about trying to redirect those misplaced feelings. Please do that. Please go to somebody to try to find out what to do with those misdirected feelings, because what's going to happen is that same energy that you're putting out to fix everybody, people seek you out. They peep out your game. And it's going to be a point in time where you're going to need somebody to take care of you. And if you got these type of people in your life, they're not going to be able to reciprocate. You never had anybody provide you with that type of support. And you're in this mode where you're going to always be able to fix things. There's going to be times where you're going to need somebody to take care of you. There are going to be times where you're going to need somebody to have your back. And if you're surrounded by these type of people who are broken all the time, they ain't going to be able to do shit for you. So you have to find a way to redirect those feelings. Start feeling better about yourself. And that way you can rechannel your energy. And once you do that, you'll start attracting better people. Right now, you're attracting the energy that you want to fix something. You're projecting the energy that, oh, I've got something for you. I can help you with this. I can fix your problem. You're projecting that energy, so you're drawing people who need things fixed. So you need to see somebody, a counselor or something about that, so they can help you rechannel those energies where it will be a little bit less, I want to say a little bit less generous to the wrong people. I'm just saying this because I see a lot of it going on, especially a lot of people in my age group that get a little bit older and they're pretty much settled in what they're doing, and they start to peep out things and see people in other situations and figure that once people reach a certain age, they're supposed to have X, Y, Z. And of course, I've spoken about that as well. Everybody's clock is not the same. Some people have to go through some bullshit for 30, 40 years before they could find their happy place, because during all that time they had no clue who they were, and they had to work on the inside and pull themselves together. But once they do, you ain't got to worry about them no more, because they got it and they're going to keep it. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because there's a lot of you running around here with that golden lasso like Wonder Woman or cape like Superman, and then later on you complain about how stressed out you are. You kind of brought this on yourself. Slow down. Learn to love yourself and spend time with yourself. And find out where your energies lie. Just saying.